Hey, I'm Ryan Reynolds.
Recently, I asked Mint Mobile's legal team if big wireless companies are allowed to raise prices due to inflation. They said yes. And then when I asked if raising prices technically violates those onerous two-year contracts, they said, "What the f*** are you talking about, you insane Hollywood ass?" So to recap, we're cutting the price of Mint Unlimited from $30 a month to just $15 a month.
Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
$45 upfront payment equivalent to $15 per month. New customers on first 3-month plan only. Taxes and fees extra. Speed slower above 40 gigabytes. See details.
Welcome to the Team Snob Podcast.
What is going on, everybody?
Hello, everyone.
It is Tuesday night. It is the Scene Snobs podcast live. I am your host, Mick Manhattan, and I, of course, am joined by my top hat wearing friend,
Back at you, buddy.
Casey the Madman. What's going on, Casey?
Hi, how you doing, man?
I think I'm going to talk to you like this. Just get like a Columbo voice going for the rest of the episode.
I'm in. Go for it. And I'll come to you and say, sir, I just need a day off for Christmas.
No. It's not happening. In fact, we're going to double down and we're going to do a 16-hour episode on Christmas and Christmas Eve.
I mean, I'm down. That's fine.
Get your corner, Cratchit. You imagine? It's so close. Does it feel like just the last quarter of this year has been going really fast?
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe not the last quarter, because I remember the week or two before the election. It was like, is it going to come? What's going to happen? Is this Judgment Day? Where's this going?
I don't know. I mean, mine got into a weird role. It all became a haze after I missed my opportunity to see Celine Dion live that I was supposed to go for my birthday present. And, after that went down the tubes, I was like, well, just going to live at work now. So did that for almost 6 months, man. So time for me is just a river. It's just been cruising through.
Facebook users with us. You missed a reveal. Which reveal? We didn't reveal anything yet. Oh, isn't me taking off my hood? I can put it back on. I mean, last week, I had a shaved head on BTB, so you should really watch that show because that's the reveal.
Or it might be my mustache.
Ooh, it is a glorious mustache. You are definitely... what kind of status would I put that mustache? Not creeper. It's
Ethan
above
Hawke?
Creeper.
I was going for the Ethan Hawke. That's really what I was hoping for.
Yeah, okay.
But young Ethan Hawke, because after watching Good Lord Bird, I mean, he's just huge now. It's ridiculous and completely unfair.
I have not watched. What did we tell you? Do I sound like The Undertaker? You got to get a little more of a drawl for that, a little Texas drawl. And a Facebook user says, it's me this time.
Hooray, Facebook user.
Mike, what's going on, buddy?
I must ask you a question, Mike.
And then, of course, Gerard revealed himself as Facebook user.
Already?
Never reveal yourself, Facebook user. We love it that way.
It's all right. We still love you, Gerard. We're happy you're here.
Brian says, Willy Wonka or V for Vendetta? A little bit from column A, a little bit from column B.
I'll take the Willy Wonka one. I'm cool with it.
Is he saying that you have a Guy Fawkes face?
Yeah, which I'm awesome with. That's fantastic.
So you really think that a Guy Fawkes face, you have a face
easy
of Guy Fawkes?
Easy. I'm afraid of where you're going to go. Maybe the Guy Fawkes, yeah.
Fox. That's right. Faux.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm from the States. I don't know French.
I understand.
I tried to learn a little bit.
It's your Jersey thing, but I figured Minnie Driver would have, been able to help you get over that hump.
No, it really didn't at all,
No.
in any way, shape, or form.
Fair.
But I do have some great news for you today.
Ooh, I love your great news.
The great news is, and I'm going to reveal it tonight, and then we'll reveal it again tomorrow night. We're going to have a very special episode of BTV on December 16th.
Oh, yes?
Yes, I think
How
you're
special?
joining us.
I am
you're
joining
us. And I think Gerard might be joining us.
I hope so.
And of course, my co-host on that show, Lenny, will be there. We are going to have 3 very special guests that I'm very excited about. Friends to the Scene Snobs. They're awesome. And it is Mr. Blaine Weaver, director, actor, writer, producer of such movies as Cut to the Chase, He just wrote the new American Pie, Girls Rule. He has a new movie coming out on VOD, which is Getaway. It's a great horror movie, slasher film. Go check it out. Rent it, buy it, do what you got to do. I highly recommend it. And he's got the highly anticipated sequel to his first film, Santa's Girl.
Nice.
Which is that'll be out soon, I believe. I don't know. I don't want to give any dates or anything because I don't have the dates on them.
Well, we'll have to tune in on the 16th to find out.
That's true, but that's not the only guest.
Because there's 2 more.
There are 2 more. Oh, I told you. Esham and Ian Nelms are going to join us, and they are the directors of a few very awesome movies. And that is Small Town Crime. If nobody's seen it, go check it out. Actually, the mustache kind of reminds me of the John Hawkes, who is in Small Town Crime.
There we go. I'll take it. All right.
Yeah, man. Octavia Spencer's in the movie, John Hawkes in the movie, Anthony Anderson's in the movie, the late Robert Forster's in the movie. One of my favorite actors of all time is Clifton Collins Jr. He's in the movie.
I love Octavia Spencer, man. She's incredible.
Oh,
so
good.
Amazing.
And my interview with them, we talked about her a little bit. They're friends with her and how that all came about for Small Town Crime. But that's not their new movie out.
Right.
Their new movie out is quite the tour de force and an awesome Christmas movie.
A fantastic Christmas movie, and I will fight for that. I think it is a really good Christmas movie.
Their new movie is Fat Man, where Mel Gibson plays a disgruntled Santa Claus and Walton Goggins plays a hitman hired to kill him.
Gosh, it's brilliant.
It's so good. And
after
a show.
I think I'm up to 4 watches now. It's fantastic.
It's so good. It really is. I just, and it's funny because I made the comparison on Facebook. I don't know if you saw it, to why Lethal Weapon is a Christmas movie.
Mm-hmm. I
and
did.
If Lethal Weapon is a Christmas movie, that means Die Hard's a Christmas movie.
Well, of course.
And all these people who are fighting and saying Die Hard's a Christmas movie, Die Hard's a Christmas movie, what you need to do is you need to argue for Lethal Weapon because Die Hard the doors open once Die Hard is widely accepted.
Yeah, Die Hard kind of already is, though. I mean, that's been a running thing for, my whole life.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
But 37 years on this end.
With the internet,
fighting since the womb.
It is. This new thing called the internet, where people are finally connected after thousands of years of non-connectivity.
Is it fake?
It's this past year, they've all started arguing on this brand new internet that just came out. Mm-hmm. They're saying that some people are saying Die Hard is not a Christmas movie.
That is shocking.
I'm going to save that argument for our next episode when we're closer to Christmas. I want to give the fans something to look forward to.
That's not much of an argument, man. Especially for both of us who have to find a dissenting voice.
It may not be an argument for us, but maybe somebody will come on the show that it is an argument for.
Ba, ba, ba.
That one I'll save. I already gave a big reveal, so I'll save that one. But you can make the argument for Lethal Weapon. It takes place, 100% of it takes place during Christmas time. My argument was if you take It's a Wonderful Life, it's a movie about a suicidal man who pairs with a good man and learns the value of friends, family, and life, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and that takes place 10% over Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
10% of that movie takes place over Christmas. Then you take Lethal Weapon. It's about a suicidal man who pairs with a good man who learns the value of friends and family and life. And that takes 100% over Christmas.
I mean, it's during the Christmas time. Yeah, it's just in LA.
Right? The movie starts out with Jingle Bells. So, I mean, that's right there. You got your Christmas music.
It's at a Christmas tree stand. Yeah.
Mike says, you guys have made me really want to watch Fat Man. Do you guys get royalties at this point? No, but I will always take care. One, I love the movie. I will not sit here and gush over a movie I didn't really enjoy.
We don't do that here on the Scene Snobs. Not our game.
No, because it's boring. Then you're just not going to trust us. Actually, because I have been ardently arguing for jujitsu. So much so that yeah, I know Casey can't stand it. He did not.
No. Can't stand it is way too strong. Don't put it over there. Let's just say it's not exactly a movie that I would return to frequently.
That's fair. That's fair. Many smart people, and I'm putting that on there. Smart people have said that they really don't like jujitsu. I watched it and I kind of dug it. I really like, and that's before I watched it, like weeks before I had the interview with the director. I reached out to him to talk to him about it because like I enjoyed the movie. Like if I don't like the movie, I mean, I'll talk to the director if they want to talk to me, but I generally how it comes is people will come to me and they'll say, "Hey, will you watch my movie?" That is not the case with Fat Man or Jiu-Jitsu, but most people come to me and say, "Hey, will you check out my movie, review it, and then let me know what you think." Okay. If I don't like it, I will privately go to them and I will say, "Listen, I've had some problems with it. Here's the good stuff I found. Here's the stuff that I didn't like about it. It kind of outweighs the good stuff. So if I write a review, I don't want to smash you down because I don't want to smash any filmmakers down either. Bad reviews are shitty in my opinion.
Yeah.
You can say you don't like something, but purposely writing a bad review, it's like you're out to get somebody.
Well, because it's a lot of invested effort. Like you have to really put there is some negativity that you are channeling in order to get that negative, to get that dark and nasty with it.
Yeah, and for something like that, like jiu-jitsu, I get nothing on that one. Even the director, who's a nice guy, was very dry in the interview. And, for good reason. He was like very early in the morning for him. He was on set. I don't blame him, but we had a nice conversation. He gave me a lot of good advice, and we talked. But like, I wouldn't, if I didn't like jiu-jitsu, I wouldn't have reached out to him because I don't want to, I don't want to like trash anybody's movie. I always try to find the good in it. I will say this. Okay, Facebook user. I'm not calling you Gerard. Facebook user.
Facebook user.
Lethal Weapon 1 has a fight scene in a Christmas tree sales.
Exactly.
Yes, it does. And you don't get that anymore. Brian says, I have a new view on Die Hard. I'll save it. Maybe we'll bring him on the show.
Yeah, that would be a good one.
And then he says, the title sucks. It's no jiu-jitsu. Go watch my interview because actually I agreed with that. I was like, there's no jiu-jitsu in the movie, really. And talking to him and kind of learning the mythology almost, not mythology, but like the history of jiu-jitsu from the director and why he called it jiu-jitsu. Because he's like, I'm getting slammed from everybody about calling it that.
Understandably so. There's no jiu-jitsu, but at the same time, it's whatever. It's a Nick Cage martial arts movie.
Well,
it's fun and outrageous, but that's where it ends. It's like the Great Wall. I still put it in that same level. That's where it is to me category-wise.
I thought that too. I was like, there's no jiu-jitsu. I don't know why you would call it that. And then he told me why. Now, I'm not going to reveal that on here. Go watch my interview. I mean, I'm not, what's the point? That's the only grab, really. Like, because if you didn't like the movie, you're going to want to know. So go watch my interview, Seen Snob Interviews, and find out why he named it jiu-jitsu. And it actually made the movie more interesting for me. It added layers.
All right. Well, potentially, if there could be layers to that, I will give it a ride.
You'll give the interview a ride. You will not give. You're not going back to the movie, but you will give the interview a ride. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. I mean, check out the interview. That's fine. All right.
The interview maybe inspire me to have me watch it again. We'll see.
Yeah. Listen, I'm not. If I had to compare it to anything, I'm comparing it to like the direct-to-video movies back in the 90s, like Double Team with Rodman or something like that.
Yeah, which were awesome. I mean, I love those. They have their place. Yeah. Absolutely. I'm just, I'm not really. There's a lot of good stuff out there. Too much good stuff for me. There's the Fat Man. I could keep going back to the Fat Man.
Yeah, I'll actually start getting ready for the end of the season episode, end of the year episode. I want your top 10 movies of the year.
Ooh, okay. So you know what's not going to be on there? Mulan. Just saying. Spoiler.
I'm all for that conversation. Brian says objective criticism is appreciated, not attacks. Everyone has a different opinion. Yeah, I mean, exactly. And I agree with that. Like, I don't want to slam anybody's movie. I feel like that's just trashing somebody for the sake of, being I don't know.
See, trashing people's only good if it's funny. If
I
it's
know
not
it's like-
funny, then it's not worth it, because then you're just being mean and hurtful. If you can't laugh about it, you can't continue. It's not worth it.
It became a joke on here on the Scene Snobs, but Casey can attest. He's one of the very few people in the world who've actually seen the worst movie to ever exist. And that is a movie I made called Second Grade to Love.
I love her.
I love her. Every movie. Oh my God, I can't believe that. That was like 10 takes.
At least it wasn't trying to be a oneer.
And not just that, Casey saw the behind the scenes featurette
which was way better than the movie. Believe me, that behind the scenes featurette with Mick's beautiful luscious hair that he could not keep his hands off of, which made me not want to keep my hands off of it.
Remember?
Oh, it was the face thing. That's right.
I
don't know. You did your hair a lot too. Yeah. This is as I have a top hat that I'm trying to go over to emulate.
Dude, so any movie I see now after having witnessed and made Second Grade to Love is beautiful. Perfect. It's a beautiful movie. And trust me, I've worked on some terrible movies. I've worked on terrible Hollywood studio budget movies. I've worked on terrible indie movies. I've worked on terrible shorts. I've worked all the way down the line. I've worked on some terrible, terrible stuff. But I always had a good time. I don't think there's ever a point where I didn't have a good time. And that within itself deserves some respect. Like if you can have a good time on your set, you put in some work. It's hard work. And these people go to work and they're trying to be creative. And maybe it doesn't fit your mold, but like don't trash it.
Exactly. And that's the other thing is when you're hammering on certain people, they weren't always part of that production. Or that part of production. So hammering on actors is kind of like, look, if they did a bad performance, sure, you can give them that. But I mean, there's a lot of film that people have to roll through to actually slap a movie together. So it's tough to always put that on one person or slam a person when the director asked for that. That's what they edited together. That's what they chose. So, not down with trashing one person over something that requires a whole team.
So, but a lot of people might read into that and say, like, okay, so you don't do bad interviews, so you just coddle everybody. Like, no, I don't. There are movies that the bad outweighs the good, in my opinion, but I choose and I go to the filmmaker and I say, listen, this is how I feel. I can write a review for you. I'd rather talk to you about it. But because if I write a review, I'm going to be honest. 100% just going to be honest. But I'd rather talk to you about it. And if you don't want me to write the review, that's fine. But if you want to come on and talk about it, I always invite everybody. I'm like, you want to come on and talk about your movie? Come on and talk about your movie. And it's not going to be me sitting there like, why did you make this movie suck? Because it's not the case.
No, it's more important to get the other person's take on it. Like, what did they put down? Yeah. Why was it something they were happy with? I think that's always a better question to find out, to get to the purpose of it, is what made you excited about this product once you finished it. After all the blood, sweat, and tears you put into it, what about it gave you the rush?
Yeah, and do not get me wrong. I have seen some bad movies. I have, but there's a place for them too.
Mm-hmm. The English Patient. I go back to that argument. If it was good enough in some people's minds to win a freaking Oscar, then it's just me who just thinks it's an absolute piece of trash, pure drivel.
Was it good enough, or did it have enough money backing it? That's what I call it.
I don't even know nor care. It was just awful. It was everything. It was awful.
Ryan says he saw one of my first movies, and you probably did. I don't know which one, and I'm sorry. I'd give you your money back, but I know I didn't make any money on it. So there you go.
Well, give us the time back, Mike. Give us the time back. Make that happen.
Give you the time back. Yeah, you get back rubs to everybody who watched my movies. Just the tension.
Yes.
Next week it's just you. It's an empty space in my hands, and then just me standing behind you, giving you a back rub.
That's perfect.
All right. Thanks for watching behind the scenes too. So we had some pretty crazy stuff going on movie wise this last week or so. For one, I kind of want to get into. So you've heard about the Warner Brothers thing, right?
A little bit. The fact that they're going to be releasing all their movies in 2021 in theaters and on HBO Max at the exact same time.
Yes, it's yeah. So basically, and they announced it. They didn't announce it to theaters. They didn't announce it to, oof.
What was it, like
They
a
didn't
tweet?
announce it to anybody. Really, they didn't even announce it to actors or anything. No, they did. They did do a press conference,
Okay.
but they announced it out to like major theater chains like an hour before, and then like 10 minutes before for all the little theater chains, or not even chains,
Wow.
but like the little theaters. And it's just saying, hey, this is what we're doing. You know.
Well, it makes sense.
It's
I mean, we're not going to have this thing under wraps and under control till the summertime. So what are we going to do? Just keep moving that money back? Studios aren't okay with that, and they don't care about the theaters anymore.
No, and honest, but this is the first time you see something. Now they said it was a year. They said they're taking the year of 2021 to do this and to release all of their all of their movies that are supposed to come out in theaters on the same day. They're going to release it on HBO Max. Mm-hmm. To me, this is a ploy. I mean, it's coming out more and more that it's a ploy to try and sell HBO Max to more and more people because it's failing miserably. Because
is it really?
They sold this big thing. They sold this the big deal of like HBO Max, and it's going to have all this stuff, and people are just like, all right, like I don't need to see the Justice League redone, you know, shit like that. Like,
yeah. Gee,
so
a lot of people feel that way, huh? Really? I'm not alone.
Yeah, I know you do. I'll see it. I'll watch it.
I mean, yeah, of course I will. You know, yo ho, yo ho.
Did you hear that they just announced this too? And of course, they're announcing HBO Max going to be announcing all this stuff now. They made a multi-movie and series deal with Ben Affleck to reprise his role as Batman. Yeah, I'm going to let that silence just kind of really. That was Baby Yoda not approved.
That was the decision they went with, huh? That's where they wanted to put their money.
With Jared Leto coming back as the Joker.
Yep, that's fantastic. Okay, really? Like, really? We have all of these other great potential actors or any other person who could try the new. Don't we have a Pattinson coming out? What happened to the Pattinson one? We haven't even seen the Pattinson one yet, and then what? Are they already trashing it for Batfleck? Why Batfleck?
But here's the thing. I think we've reached a point where Warner Brothers is, when it comes to DC, is losing faith in the movies as they make them.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know? Yeah. Especially Batman. As they make the movies, they're just like, well, let's try something else. Like, we haven't even finished shooting this, and we just put out the trailer, and people like it.
Dude, they did that with The Flash. They did that with Batfleck. They did it with, Batman versus Superman. Or no, sorry, New Dawn, Justice League.
There's only one company, and actually they are very much a part of this. Real quick, I'm going to go down the line. It was my living room, and it was in VHS. Oh, man, so that was a high school movie. Mike says, so about this WB thing, is HBO Max fee going to increase to make them more money, or how exactly it's going to work? Also, I hate everything about this. Movies belong in theaters. I agree, but streaming is the future, so we have to work like how Universal did it, where when Universal got panned for what they were saying, putting it out the same day as in theaters, they were like, all right, we'll give you 3 weeks. You know, I kind of got that. I don't know why they didn't do this. But I agree. I mean, theaters deserve, some backing here. But a Facebook user says, but if it only matters for the new multi-universe theory. Listen, we can be here all day. They killed Suicide Squad. Well, James Gunn might make Suicide Squad.
Yeah, actually, I was going to say, first of all, Suicide Squad had a lot of problems. It started strong everywhere. The problem is it didn't finish anywhere. It was just it was a really good beginning to the session, and you're getting all warmed up, and life is good. And then all of a sudden, it's an hour and a half later, and you're still sitting there going, well, what are we really doing here, people? Does anyone feel better? Do you feel better? Do I feel better?
That second Suicide Squad movie looks muddy though, and
it does.
It's because I like James Gunn, and they supposedly gave him a lot more freedom than they give most directors. That's why
we get King Shark, so that's awesome.
Mike brings up a good point, but I'll get to that in a minute. I want to talk about WB a little bit more. I'm with Baby just stay there.
Baby Yoda, Grogu.
Grogu's gonna make appearances every once in a while.
I appreciate it. Who doesn't love Grogu?
I had to hide them in my office because my kids are trying to steal them.
Rightfully so.
My kid put on a stormtrooper mask, and you didn't see the picture online? I was laying down, and I kept Grogu right here, joking with him because I kept trying to steal him. And he comes up with a stormtrooper mask and the big Star Wars gun rifle thing, and he points it at me, and he's like, "Give me the child." And I'm like, "We just watched episode 14 like a day ago or something. Like, what are you doing? Like, you remember all this already?"
That's amazing.
And you're on that side? You're on that side of it?
That's fine. Dude, yeah, no, I had to get over it. River is all dark side, and she likes all the villains, and her favorite Avatar character is Azula and May, and I'm like, oh, killing me. She loves Poison Ivy. Poison Ivy's like her hero. I'm like, really? Poison Ivy? I mean, love the Earth, though. That's cool. You want to be an eco-terrorist? Do your thing.
I think that was one of the best, if you watch the DuckTales TV show, when the Darkwing Duck episode, because when they had like Bushroot and Megavolt and Liquidator and what's the other one? It's killing me. I'll remember it. Quackerjack. Sorry, that was going to drive me crazy the entire episode if I don't remember. And Quackerjack come out. They're talking. So this Darkwing Duck was a fan of the Darkwing Duck show growing up, which was the Darkwing Duck we all grew up with. Mm-hmm. And he and Launchpad were fans of that. And so they're talking about episodes as they're fighting them. So kind of like, how are you going to beat them? And then one of them goes like, Bushroot's a bad guy. And like, well, technically, Bushroot's not a bad guy. And it's like Poison Ivy. It's the Poison Ivy argument. Nice. That's why I bring it up. Technically, Poison Ivy is just trying to save the Earth.
She is. She's never really with the League of Evil or whatever they are. I don't even care anymore. Like I've fallen so far. The DC chunk of my brain has just like molded, withered, and died. It's gone. It's just so angry with everything. It's shut down. I'm fine. I've got lots of Marvel stuff and the Spider-Verse and all the different type of Spider-Men and the Spider-Gwen. It's awesome.
See, yes. I mean, there's some cool things going on. I think my biggest thing about it is DCEU has been kind of getting killed, and we're getting hit with a lot of comments. I promise I'll get to everybody. DCEU has been kind of getting killed with it a lot lately, and it's sad. But at the same time, Justice League was so bad.
Yeah,
like you ruined the movie that people have been waiting for.
Since the cartoon, I loved the cartoon. Growing up, I loved that cheesy, terrible cartoon. It was what I got to watch for a long period of my life. That was my superhero show. So the fact that it got ruined, the only thing that saved from it was Wonder Woman. That's it. That's the only thing done well. It's the only thing I like and appreciate. And even she's hard to watch in those movies.
I don't know if I can. This new one, I just like the first one was so good, so serious in tone and everything else. This new one looks so hokey.
I'm okay with hokey though. You know what? If they're trying to take the one good IP they have and Thor Ragnarok it, so
yeah,
it's a heck of a jump to try to achieve. We'll see if it works. We'll see how it goes.
That's such a tough one, though. Yeah, I mean, you're right. Like, listen, I'm gonna see the movie, and I'm gonna go to a theater to see it because I feel that's important. I want to mention that. So for me, with everything going on and Warner Brothers screwing everybody over, I don't think boycotting is the way to go. A lot of people are doing that. Chris Nolan came out and called them like they're the worst pieces of garbage studio of all time. Worst streaming service is HBO Max, and then he called WB like the worst. Wow. And he just did Tenet for him, so like he'll probably never be back. So the big things are like Gal Gadot is not happy because she stood to make like points on the back end of like upwards of $10 million just for doing a certain amount, which it would have surely done being released in theaters.
Right. Even
during pandemic times, I'm sure. Then you get King Kong versus Godzilla, which Legendary Pictures made 75% of, right? That they paid for 75% of that movie. WB paid for the other 25%. Now it's going to HBO Max. They're pissed. Legendary's insanely pissed because they had a deal, or they were working on a deal with Netflix to sell it for $250 million to Netflix.
Whoa.
And it was WB who stopped it.
Oh, man.
And now they're not going to make that money back going to HBO Max. And WB is not on the hook to pay them anything.
Yeah, that's brutal, man. That's a lot of money.
There's a lot of companies, a lot of filmmakers who are not happy with
I get that. Unfortunately, though, this is the direction that I think it's all going, especially the pandemic has taught us anything, that, more people can work remote, more things can be done online, more people are turning to their streaming services and things online. It's just the way the world's going. I fear, though, unfortunately, it will make the theaters a thing not only of the past, but become sort of a upper echelon niche kind of thing. Like, so you're no longer going to have niche art houses. Now you're going to have niche movie theaters. And that's what it's going to be. It's going to trickle down to be, $40 a ticket, and you can no longer take your kids to the movies the same way you can no longer really take your kids to a football game, unless you're making boatloads of money.
That's a great point. And I said something along the lines of like, maybe this will force theaters to kind of like more openly accept indie films, which will help the indie market, and also will help change theaters back into almost an event when you go. Something like, we used to go to Manassas 4, right?
We did.
Now, Manassas 4 was fine. It was cheap. You knew what you were getting. And
it was great.
Old school theater.
It was a kind of an event for us.
It was an event of nostalgia for us, though. But I mean, theaters need to be an event again. They need to be theaters that are taken care of. Like, there's the ArcLight cinemas in Los Angeles, and now when you go into ArcLight, you feel like you've crossed into like this heavenly feeling of movie making. The theaters are all pristine and clean. The sound is perfect. They even wait the first 15 minutes. An attendant waits the first 15 minutes of the movie to make sure the sound is pristine and perfect. They are on top of anybody talking or on their phones or anything like that. More so than anybody else, any theater you've been to who says they're on top of it. Mm-hmm. So like you go there. There's a amazing gift shop bookstore right in the theater. I've bought so many great film books there. There's a great restaurant right inside the theater. Like, it's an event.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. And that would be neat if we could get back to that. I think that's still a far cry. I think I will say
that you've been here too. Alamo here in Winchester does that. Alamo does a really good job.
Alamo is fantastic.
And that's a testament to their team there. And during COVID, going to the movies during COVID. And I'm sorry, I know I talked over you. I feel bad about that. I do.
All right. We both do it.
Yeah, I mean, but it was shitty.
So you're right, Mike, and I'm over here, and I feel better and bigger than you because of my top hat.
Well, you're an event, sir. You're an event among yourself. It's all an event.
Speaking of events, we have Christmas, my friend.
I love the segue.
Do you like that?
I do. Yes, we have Christmas coming up, and one of the questions we're going to ask, one of the topics we're going to talk about tonight was, how early is too early to start decorating? Mm-hmm. Now, I did some reading, did some little research, and I guess the proper amount of time to start decorating is January 6th. No, I'm just kidding. Is after Thanksgiving. The highest amount of people said after Thanksgiving. Even the weekend after is acceptable, but you should wait till at least the first week of December. Now, not many people will agree with this on that. However, I want to hear what you think, sir. When should we start decorating?
For me, it's usually the weekend after Turkey Day. That has been tradition. That's the way it's always been. The moment you're finished on Friday after shopping or having eaten more after eating more, and then you just keep eating more. It's usually around the time that you can roll yourself and actually functionally start walking when your legs work again, that you just start decorating. That's what it is. You just start putting stuff up. This year is different, however. This year, I felt we needed the cheer a little earlier. this year, with everything going down and just kind of feeling that locked in, trapped sensation, I went with the second week of November. Yeah, second week of November this year. A little early.
You can't gauge it on 2020. Because I was like, we need to start decorating in August for Halloween. I need some joy in my life.
I was the same, man. The September 1, it was like, all right, Halloween. Here we are.
Made it. Just needed it in life. What is good in life, Conan? Decorating early in 2020. That was not the one.
To crush your enemies, see them driven before you, and hear the lamentations of their women. Sorry, it's
good.
Knee jerk. Can't do it.
Good, Conan. Good. And Brian says weekend after Turkey Day, and I will get to your other comments too, guys. Don't worry, we're going to talk about it. So we get to. I want to take out this year out. Let's take 2020 out of it. For me, I've always grown up believing once you see Santa at the Macy's Day Parade, it's Christmas season.
Yep.
And as I get older, I find like you got to fold that in. You got to make sure that's kind of how you're feeling. You need to get into the Christmas spirit that quick, because Black Friday will suck you dry in terms of spirit. Like all that Thanksgiving you were doing the day before is now out the window. Let's beat this man to death with, whatever hot toy is going on this year.
Man, speak for yourself on that end, because I got over that Black Friday thing early in life. And after doing it a couple times, after bartending, I was like, yeah, I don't get this. These people are nuts. I walked into a Walmart. I did. I went to a Walmart at like 4 a.m. on a Black Friday, just wandering around, and there were definitely crowds of people getting testy. And I was like, all right, time to get out. That's enough.
I did a lot of small business shopping this year for the deals. But I did, of course, you can't avoid the big deals in the big department stores. Anybody who tells you, especially with everything going on this year, and money-wise, and people, they're like, well, shop small business. Okay, you got to start selling like Walmart does then. Because
that's the issue. Yeah, is going around and shopping small business isn't difficult if you're doing it online. You know who to talk to or go through aggregate sites. But yeah, Etsy shops are great. Love Etsy shops. Yeah,
that's a good spot. Etsy's really good. But I went to the Winchester Book Gallery. I got a bunch of books for the kids. I went around and just kind of picked up other knickknacks. I went to a consignment shop and got like a really nice. She doesn't watch my shows anyway. Nice like candle holder for my wife. Oh
man, she's gonna murder you if she's watching this. She's just gonna come through the door and just start hammering on you.
She has like more cookie orders this Christmas than I can even count. She's so busy. I can say anything I want, which is a topic that's coming up in a little while, and she'll never know. It'll be great. No, somebody will tell her. So for me, Black Friday, I've worked Black Fridays. I will never go and do a Black Friday, but I will buy online. But first, I'll check what they have at the small businesses, and then I will be like, okay, now my kids want this stuff, and the small businesses don't have this stuff. I got to go, whether it be Walmart online, Target online, something like that. So this will be the one episode she watches. No, it won't. No, it won't. Facebook.
I'm just waiting. Gosh, I really hope that there's a delay, and she's up there right now. Just comes in with a rolling pin.
She has it in her hand right now.
I know.
She's making cookies.
That's why it'd be
all
great.
night long, man. She's making cookies. It's insane. She's not watching this. She's listening or watching Hamilton for the 734th time.
Well, that's great. Month. In fact, I could start singing it right now because I'm not throwing away my shot.
Listen, I can't afford that. You got to stop. The Scene Snobs does not have that type of money. They don't have Lin-Manuel money. So we got to let that one go.
Or it could be a way to call him out, to have him come on. Lin-Manuel, of course, would want to come on this show. Sing his praises all day.
Are we allowed to call it Black Friday? I'm not even touching that. So earlier, okay, because for some reason, everyone in the house having a smartphone and a tablet, and there being an Alexa in every room of this house except the bathrooms, my entire family decides, hey, I'll just ask this history question, this geography question, this math question, this celebrity question, this movie question, whatever question it is, to Dad, who's on the toilet.
Yeah.
That's when they ask. They don't ask Alexa. Even if I tell them, there's no locked doors in my home. Of course not. Not with a 4-year-old especially.
Yeah.
They come barging in. Where is this? What country is this in? Or what is this in? And I'm just like, go ask Alexa or check your tablet. Why are you asking me? I'm in the bathroom. I want to know. And I start going crazy.
Well, you see, what you've done is planned poorly, and you clearly need to have an Alexa in the bathroom to augment while you're in there. You can just be like, hold on, and just turn and ask.
Oh, God. And then, there's so many fun questions. But then the 4-year-old runs in today and asks some question. I don't remember what it is. Oh, I think a Pokemon's name or something. I'm like, you're asking the wrong guy. Ask your brother. Then he runs out. He puts on a Minecraft like wool hat and puts on a baggy Captain America hoodie and comes back in and he raps. He original raps. He goes, we're peeing and pooping. Daddy and Mommy gotta help me wipe. And I'm just like, what is happening right now?
That's
Is my kid a genius or does my kid have something wrong with him? I'm like trying to figure it out. I'm like, this has to be a genius thing, right? Like that has to be a musical type genius thing.
Yep. Yeah, 100%.
Because he already we got him keyboards, we got him guitars, stuff like that. So because he's very into music, and he plucks them along and he dances and he sings and he learns all the songs and such. And then he'll start like playing on his either ukulele or his guitar. Ukulele.
Well, now is definitely time to train him on like Belle Biv DeVoe.
Yeah,
teach him life lessons.
Yeah, that's a good one. Well, my big thing was we had him in a music class and he was doing pretty well. And then we were going to put him in like a higher up music class because he was really into it. Just so he can learn singing, he can learn different instruments. Because I want him to learn everything. Like if he's going to learn, he's going to learn everything. Mm-hmm. I want him to Dave Grohl this situation.
Absolutely. I mean, get it now. Like River brought up a violin to me, and I'm like, yeah, you want a violin? I'll get you a violin. Let you sit here and just squeal away on that thing. Sure. Be a genius.
I was like, I'll buy you drums right now. I don't care. Like, let's do this. I am all for it. So, and go to town. Like I said, I want this to be a Dave Grohl thing. Mm-hmm. So, but we were going to do that, and then 2020 hit, and we couldn't do the class. So there's online stuff you can do, but he's not there for virtual yet. Like Tommy's good. Tommy's been doing really well in school with virtual, but he's still a little young to sit there and listen to somebody over a screen.
Right.
And
he'll talk to stay focused long enough, and to not have them there, they need to be there to show them, okay, this, yeah.
So it's just tough. So like I've been watching stuff on YouTube and saying, okay, let's try playing the piano. Let's try doing this, or let's try learning something, learning how to sing, stuff like that. But when he busted out that rap today, I was like, damn, man. I was like, this because you watched Hamilton 700 times, huh?
That's exactly what it is. It's wonderful. And as long as he's not coming out like Hercules Mulligan.
Oh, I wish you would. 100%. Actually, he kind of did. Oversized like coat. It. He had the wool cap, and he jumped right in. And he started saying, "I was like, this is the best." I was like, "I love this."
And it's still like, talking about peeing and pooping. That is a struggle over 4 sets of corsets. So I get it.
Well, yeah, it was just because I was sitting on a toilet at the time. Sadly, got to run and continue my journey of the Star Wars prequels. Episode 3 is up tonight. Can't wait to catch the rest of the Snobs when the video gets uploaded. Have a great night, fellows. Mike, you have a great night. Actually, we need to get you on the show once you watch, because he's never seen all the Star Wars.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I actually have been doing the same thing for some reason. After Mandalorian, I finished up through Solo. So I watched episodes 1, 2, 3, now Solo. So I'm on Rogue One. I'm super stoked.
Nice. Very nice.
So enjoy, Mike.
This is his first viewing, so.
Ooh, what a journey.
I know, right?
And you get to watch what is easily the greatest lightsaber duel in the entirety of the series, in my opinion.
Is that the when the Ewok shoots?
Anakin Obi-Wan, don't even dare. Don't you dare. Just stop it. Stop it.
It is, and the music is great in that one, but I still prefer that first one with Qui-Gon. and Darth Maul.
Oh, I get it. That's a great one. I don't disagree with you that that's a good one, but it's not the best. Because by the time you get to Obi-Wan and Anakin, you've got two of the most powerful saber wielders and force wielders just hammering at each other. It's wonderful.
That's legit. So since we're talking Star Wars, I do want to talk about one thing I kind of want to bring up because it's kind of weighing on me, and I want to dive in deep with you. This man right here has made a return this week. We officially saw him, and yeah, that's the proper response. Boba Fett is back. We saw his face. He's in. Was it Tamora Morrison came back to reprise his role?
The Jango Fett.
Yep. Well, yeah, he played Jango Fett, but of course, like because he's a clone, he is now Boba Fett. I'm not saying that to you. I know you. Trust me. If anyone knows that, it's you. I'm just want anybody else watching or listening to
everybody up to speed. I got you.
So on the Mandalorian to show up, we got a kind of it was called The Tragedy too, and it was kind of a sad one.
Yeah.
It's gearing up, but it's kind of a sad one. So I want to talk about two things. We could go over the whole episode, but there's plenty of people doing that. Let's just talk about two things. One, and I don't want to hear about the books. I don't want to hear about like the lore. I want to know how you think Boba Fett survived the Sarlacc pit.
Oh, I think they brought up the fact that it was the Krayt Dragon that destroyed the Sarlacc. But let's be honest, Boba Fett was fully loaded. I mean, we saw what he did with that armor and how he was able to smoke show everybody, and he just fought his way out. Straight up, pure and simple. Krayt Dragon jacked it up, and he found a way through and just blasted his way out. And then he was exhausted by the time he got through, and Jawas jumped him. I think the Jawas shot him to steal his armor. And that's what that big dent is in the helmet there.
You know what? I'm just going to stick with that. I like that. That's a good one.
I mean, he's just such a badass. After seeing him fight, you kind of understand that he's won with that armor, and it's like, there's no way that he was going to be a punk and go out like that, being popped into a Sarlacc. And he's got the scarring, too, from the acid and the juices, the digestive juices. Oh, it's awesome.
It looks so cool.
Yeah.
Now, I also wanted to kind of go over a theory with you, too. Okay, so it seems like Mando is now going to start gearing up. Seems like he's going to start pulling together some people.
Yeah, because, I mean, that's the best part about this show is that's what they do. They gear up from last season. They take everybody, and they're like, okay, now here's your team. So in season 2, it's going to be, here's your other team. So now that things have happened with Grogu, everybody's on board. Everyone is coming.
And do you think we're going to get Timothy Olyphant coming back?
You bet. Oh, absolutely. We better get Cobb Vanth. He's amazing. I rewatched that episode. He's just the quintessential small town sheriff. Timothy Olyphant was just built for that role.
He even had the swagger too.
I mean, the way he stands, just his stance.
Yeah.
It's
a John Wayne stance through and through.
It really is. There's power in that stance.
So with that, I want to talk about this. Okay, so he's going to go back. He's going to get Ashoka. She's coming back. He's going to get everybody. I think he's going to really gear up because now that Boba was like, they're back.
Yeah, the
Empire's back. Like, this is it. Like, and now that they have these super trooper robots, kind of
the Dark Troopers. Yeah.
No, Super Trooper robots.
Oh, sorry, Super Trooper robots. They did the dollar store version.
So now that they have those, they're going to need to gear up with some people. So I think you're going to get everybody back from the first season. I think Bill Burr is going to play a good role in it.
Oh, he's going to be great. I mean, because he's going to have that respect and hate for Mando. You're the dick who put me away, but good on you. You got me.
But I also think like it's going to add that level of comedy you need through the rest of it, that levity, like because he's kind of a badass, but he's still like Bill Burr, so it's fun. But because we had Grogu sitting on the stone, and the Force was coming through him,
that's the signal.
Do you think that the remaining Jedis are going to show up?
I think we're going to get Ezra Miller from Rebels. I think they open that door. I think they open that door wide open. I think we could absolutely get that, and then Vader could strike him down.
Who would be good to play Ezra? What do you think?
At this age, gosh, I don't even know.
I mean, he'd be old. Yeah.
Maybe the kid who played him, because I think the guy who played him is old enough.
Maybe.
Yeah.
It will be interesting to get as many people. You think
Elijah Wood could always play that age, and
You think
kind of
Luke
look
will
like
come back?
Elijah Wood.
No, Luke.
Well, no, I don't think we're getting Luke. No, I don't think
Luke is who directed this episode. Robert Rodriguez directed this episode.
I saw. Yeah.
And I know you know. Again, we're doing a podcast, man. I gotta let the people know. No, I'm just kidding.
You have to explain it to me. Speak.
No, I'm not explaining anything to you because I think you know. I think you have the insider track that Luke's going to come back. Because we're going to get somebody. We're going to get somebody directing that. If it's not Jon Favreau, we're going to get somebody big directing that episode.
Yeah.
Could be George. George showed up on set.
It would be pretty neat. It would be pretty neat.
Jon Favreau, like, no, dude, you're going to do it our way.
Well, he could even do it his way. That's the thing. He's just telling him to direct. Lucas isn't a bad director.
No.
He took things in a weird direction in the prequels. That's all. Thank God Mike hasn't watched this now. Now that we've jumped past it, Mike's off.
Yeah, I know, right? He did take him to a weird place. But, I mean, and as much as you can complain about Crystal Skull, like, you got 3 really great Indiana Jones written from him.
That's the thing. We have 3 wonderful pop movies. He can do those specialties. Like, he could do a Western. I have no doubt George Lucas can crush a Western.
So, yeah, that's exciting, though. And I'm so glad that Boba Fett's along for the ride for the rest of the season.
Oh, yeah, we're going to have – and I love the Fennec. She's awesome. Ming-Na Wen is the titties, so that's wonderful with her on there. She's just awesome.
Yeah. Oh, she's fantastic, and I'm glad they brought her back, definitely. Because that's why I'm thinking – we're going to get a whole thing where like just everybody comes back and it's like, we're saving this kid.
Yep. And a few Tusken Raiders, I hope too.
Oh, that'd be so cool if they joined some Tusken Raiders in them. Oh, that'd be amazing.
Well, because remember the Tusken Raiders were the natives who helped. I mean, there was usually someone who would come along. So there has to be at least one that's in. That's probably like, an attaché between Cobb Vanth and their people.
I love the fact that he's made so many friends along the way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just think and it's made for such a better story. It's such a good Western.
The fact that we've lost a few friends along the way too makes for a big part of that story.
100%. But I want to talk about another return coming up before we get into our main topic for this evening, and that is Alfred Molina as Doc Ock. He's coming back for Spider-Man 3. Last seen in Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man 2. What are you thinking, man? Because we have Jamie Foxx coming back as Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man.
As Electro, yep. I think it's wonderful. First of all, Jamie Foxx was great. I don't think there's ever anything wrong with the Amazing series. I thought they were wonderful. I think Sony just kind of pooped their own pants in that one. Didn't work out well.
Yeah.
But
he was great Spider-Man, man.
Yeah.
His Peter Parker I was okay with. Like, it didn't bother me. I liked the tone that they went with, so it didn't bother me.
Yeah, because it was edgier. It was a little more, I don't know, millennial, if that is a right term. Yeah. That just was where we were at as a society. And now we get Alfred Molina back, who was the best Doc Ock. He was the absolute highlight of 2. So excited for that.
Well, we all know that Facebook user is actually Tom Holland, so we have to take this at face value and know that it's true. Is Andrew Garfield is also in talks to come back. So, and I believe it. And I believe they're not going to let you know about Tobey Maguire. He's going to come back.
He's going to come back. They're going to do an Into the Spider-Verse. Into the Spider-Verse was so wildly successful, and it spawned so many different just little outcroppings that have been wildly popular in the comic book world, that now we're definitely going to see something like that happen here. And they tried to do that with DC and the Earth One and the multiverse and all their different Earths and everything. I don't know. I don't think it plays. I don't think they did it right. There's too much CW dripping in that world, so it doesn't play as well.
For me, well, I mean, I don't know that it doesn't play. Really? You think so?
I just feel like it's too mushy. I don't like what the CW has done with all of those comic book shows. I don't like the direction they've taken. I don't like the tone that it changed to. And this is coming from a guy who loves Charmed.
Okay.
Who loves Charmed. Like I rewatched an episode today because it's awesome.
It's interesting.
The Hollowell sisters, man.
You need to watch Supernatural. Just get on that 15-year train.
I'm up to like season 8. Over the years, I've managed to plow my way to season 8. Now I'm like, all right, maybe I'll trudge along a little bit. I'll complete it. I've got a 30-year plan, bro. Don't worry.
That's smart. You actually need. You know what? You could probably pay off a mortgage by the time you finish Supernatural.
Bingo. That's the idea.
Well, for me, like Supernatural, just real quick, kind of touching down on that ending. That's one I stayed with since the beginning, week to week.
Yep.
I never waited till the summer when it was back on. Like I watched it, and like I may not have watched it that night, but like if I recorded it, I watched it like very soon after. So it ending, like I'll think back and like you're on season 8, and like I'll think of an episode that's like, wow, man, that just happened. And it's like, whoa, that was season 8. Well,
yeah, how you feeling after losing that, man?
The way they did it was really beautiful. They did a really nice job. Even at the ends, because I'll spoil it. I don't care.
Spoilers.
Even at the spoiler alert. Even at the end, because Dean dies early in the episode. Dies, and goes to heaven. And heaven is fixed. Everything's good. And he's just kind of living his life. You know, a happy life, seeing all his loved ones and such. And then Sam goes on living, and he gets married. He has a kid, raises the kids, you know, the whole thing. And then, like, he dies as an old man. And now his brother at the end is, like, sitting on, like, one of the bridges that they were on in the beginning. Just, like, sitting there, just hanging out. And Sam shows up right behind him. It's like, hey, what's up, Dean? And he's like, all right, they're back together again. And they're, like, the ages they were, of course, when it ended.
Yeah.
But they're wearing the same exact outfits that they wore in the very first episode.
That's pretty cool.
I was like, that's a cool one. I like that one.
Good ending.
Kind of how they did it. I feel bad because like everybody's like kind of on topic with what we were talking about, and then we go off on a tangent of CW and our shows.
Because they killed Arrow, so screw them. I'm sorry. I loved Arrow.
They killed Arrow in the third season.
Yeah, in the third season, it went on for what, 9 years? It's still going on.
I don't know. They made a spinoff. I know that. Even as voices only to have as a crossover, it would be amazing for Toby and Kirsten.
Yeah.
You could drop Kirsten. I don't care about Kirsten, but
easy. She was phenomenal.
Never been.
I know you haven't, but you know, ever since Bring It On, she's always been right here.
Her and Lemonface, I just don't care about. Although I did like Lemonface and Cinderella Man. I thought that was like her best movie.
She has a name.
Lemonface. Yeah. What do you think? What do you think Zellweger means in whatever country it's from? And it's probably Scandinavian or something. So don't even.
Probably. Yeah. And I doubt it's Lemonface.
I know the guy who did the title song for that movie. Which movie? I don't know why I'm waiting for him.
I know. We're just going to sit here for a minute. Wait a minute. Does 10 Things I Hate About You?
We mentioned a lot of movies, bro. Tell us what movie right now. So one of our main topics tonight, Casey brought this to my attention. I read the article. It's probably one of the best. That was great article. By the Daily Mash, they put it out, but it was Bride Magazine was the one that did the poll. Oh, Spider-Verse.
Spider-Verse. Okay. Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, it is awesome. Oh, get him on my show.
Yeah, seriously. I want to interview that guy.
I definitely want to interview that guy. So we get, we get to this article, and let me just read off the title for you. It is called. Where did everybody go? Of course, it's blacked out now, and I can't get back to.
Oh, that's pretty funny. All right, so to give you an idea, it's hold on, now it's not coming up. Marriage, not as good as Predator, say men. And apparently, Mike is gone, and I'm all alone now. So yeah, that's the name of the article. And I sent this along to Mike because between the two of us, he's the successful guy in the relationship. So he actually is hitched and things are going well. I have never been so lucky. So obviously I immediately side with this article going, yeah, obviously Predator's way cool than being married.
Oh, dude, I agree.
What are you doing, Mike? Wait, talk about Kimball's cookies real quick. Talk about the cookies.
I love my wife. I mean, I can't even describe the love I have for my wife. You know, and you know me single, so like like every woman in my life like didn't mean much. Not that they didn't mean much. They always meant something, but like
we love anybody who's decided to watch who may have at one time been involved with Mike.
All right, yeah.
Thanks a lot for sticking with us. It's been a pleasure having you around. See you later.
I just kicked myself out. I'm a little flustered. Leave me alone. Not you, the people. So just bear with me here, people. So like I never. All right, I love my wife. That's where I'm going to go with this. So I'm in love with my wife. So like all the other women like meant something. They're all fantastic. Well, my wife's my wife. I married her. So they understand. They're probably all married now anyway, and good for them. And I hope they found what I found. But Predator, man.
Predator, dude.
Such a good movie.
Predator is quintessential. First of all, it's 80s. It's one of the most classic 80s over-the-top explosion movies you're going to have.
Because but it's also timeless.
It is timeless because it's in a jungle. So you're in a jungle against rebels, and you're fighting with guns and bombs. So until we stop fighting with guns and bombs, it fits.
Yeah.
So we're always going to have that. I see Facebook user put up Casey is not alone. Thank you.
Here's the funny thing. Do you thank him or are you afraid of him? Because Facebook user, that could be a threat. We don't know with Facebook user.
No, are you kidding me? Even if it's a threat, that means they're around the corner, and I feel really grateful to have someone else here.
We never know with Facebook user, man. They just...
Now I'm kind of checking, like...
Facebook user just comes up behind you.
How not alone am I? That would be through the wall, and that's even more terrifying and really cool. It's like phantasms.
It's so fun. So they did it. They asked a bunch of men, is marriage more satisfying than the movie Predator? And most people were like, no, it isn't. And nobody, I don't think anybody who's ever seen the movie Predator can disagree.
I mean, Predator is an hour and 39 minutes of just pure unadulterated man joy with lines like, if it bleeds, we can kill it.
Oh my God.
Ain't got time to bleed.
Freddie did it. Uh-oh. Yeah, Freddie's going to come out of the wall and get you. So here's the thing about Predator. You know, marriage is great. I enjoy it. You can cuddle with your lady. You can have a good time. You can have good conversation that really, gets into you, and like you makes you think.
You have a connection with someone who's supposedly your equal and your partner in this world, in this crazy mixed up thing we called life.
Exactly. That's a great way to put it. But Predator has a scene where they like straight up fire out into the jungle, and that's real gunfire.
Yeah, they're just mowing through a jungle.
Oh my God!
They have one of the greatest bonding handshakes, and as a man who loves personal contact handshakes, the handshake hug thing, that's a good strong combo. There's certain fist bumps that when done properly can be cool. Other ones that I just can't. I don't have the dexterity or capability to do. But that clasp between Carl Weathers and Arnold Schwarzenegger, when they flex those biceps and stare deep into each other's eyes, they respect each other. And they'll do anything for each other all the way.
The pillars of heaven shook that night.
Oh, did they?
And Facebook user says, who hasn't seen Predator? I don't know. Somebody, I'm sure. I mean, there had to be people on that poll that don't understand.
Our kids. I mean, River hasn't seen all of Predators yet, but I mean, a few scenes, obviously.
Yeah, you got to throw some in there. But I think I tried to show it to Tommy when he was 6 or 7, and he wasn't interested at the moment.
Yeah,
the testosterone hadn't hit him.
It hasn't. Yeah, he hasn't gotten his boost yet. It'll come.
And Brian says, so if you're married and never had 138 minutes or an hour and 38 minutes of good times, come on. I have. I've had more than an hour and 38 minutes of good times. But it's Predator. It's like a different good time.
Yeah, it's a good time that it cuddles your soul as much as your counterpart and partner would cuddle you physically.
I feel like to answer the Facebook user's question, anybody who questions the validity of Predator hasn't seen Predator. Sorry, Brian. I don't think you've seen it. Maybe you saw AVP. That's a different story. I would not give up my wife.
No, and I wouldn't compare it to Predators either. I think Predator is very specific. It's very singular.
Listen, or Predator 2. Let's face facts. Danny Glover is a national hero. Look how many times
but more is Murtaugh.
Oh, and I agree.
Okay.
And I mean, I love them in Predator 2, and I'm not giving up my wife for them. Are you kidding me? I'm not even giving my wife up for the first Predator, but I'm never giving up Predator.
Yeah,
so
never.
She would have to make the ultimatum of Predator or me, and I'd really have to think about like where she's going to live.
Or you just have to think about how frequently you have to come over and hang out to watch Predator. It just means you can't watch it around her.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, she is watching this episode because Facebook user's never wrong. That's the thing. We've never seen Facebook user be wrong. So she's probably watching this now and she's like, I'm going to get you, motherfucker.
Oh, I see it.
You're right. Rolling pin in hand. And that thing is, listen, I never knew a rolling pin was heavy until my wife started doing these cookies. And that thing is heavy.
Did she get like a big, awesome metal one?
It's not metal. It's like marble.
Oh, God. Oh, Mike, I fear for you. I was thinking like, she just needs a classic rolling pin. What happened to like wood, oak, sumac, like, whatever it's made of?
I think it's oak handles and then a marble block.
Well, that's a murder weapon.
That is a murder weapon. You are not kidding.
That's a piece from Clue.
It's dangerous, dude. Wow. That's legit.
Yeah.
So when I clicked out of the thing, I clicked out all of my articles. So let's just jump right back into it. And I'm going to add this to Brian says she did other things with that rolling pin to you. You're a dark man.
Brian's bringing some noise and funk. I don't know how we feel about it.
Brian, do we need to bring you something like soup or an exorcist or?
Does Brian need a hug? Brian needs a hug.
Brian needs a pandemic hug. He hasn't been hugged in too long, and I think he needs a pandemic hug. Feeling
you, buddy. Don't worry. That's how I wound up with a top hat.
Here's your pandemic hug. We're hugging you. You feel better.
Or just watch Predator, and you get that whole, hug for your soul.
That's true. I need to watch Predator tonight. I just do. But the nice part about being married, I'm not saying my wife's in everything I love, but she does love Predator. So that's points right there.
That's pretty great. Yeah, that's very important.
So get you a woman who loves Predator. Now, I want to talk, before we wrap up, about a couple of things. We are having a very special Christmas special this Friday night.
Boop-a-doo.
Did I tell you that?
Nope.
Did I tell you what we're having? The Mutant Fam is together, and we're having a very Mutant Christmas special starting at 8 p.m. this Friday, December 11th, and it's going to be live. Starts at 8, ends before 8, ends before 9 because Joe Bob starts at 9, and nobody wants to watch
Joe
us
Bob.
past that.
Yeah,
we're
Joe
out.
Bob. I mean, nobody's watching us. It's just Joe Bob.
Yeah, so it's going to be a fun variety show type with the Mutant Fam showing up. I want everybody to jump in. We missed out on the best married movie couple.
Yeah, I really did some research into that, man. I was stoked, and then I looked up and I'm like, how have we already done an hour of chatting? This is ridiculous.
Because that's what we get into, man. That's how we do.
True.
But save it because
DC taking up all our time.
Yeah, that's fair. I do want to touch down on it with you though, because that is a cool topic, and I know I did some research in it too, and I'm like, I have a whole list, but I clicked out of my list, so it's all gone. So I can't even give you my list anymore. But yeah, so we're doing a very Mutant Christmas special this Friday. Facebook users, stop ruining it for us. No, I'm just kidding. Facebook user is never wrong. A Facebook user does not ruin anything. Facebook user is our friend.
user enhances all.
Really does. Really does. Thank you, Facebook user. As
We
always.
appreciate you, Facebook user.
But save that for next week, and we'll talk about that. Because we're running out of time. Also, so I announced BTB for next week, which is a super special episode with our mega guests, and I'm very excited for that. And you're going to join us, and Gerard, I think, is coming back to join in, and we're going to be talking about the first half. We're talking about how long would each of us survive a horror movie.
Oh, yeah. All right. Cool. It depends which horror movie.
Yeah.
I think
we'll go over it.
Parameters are required because I know
parameters.
in slow zombies, I'm good for a little while. Fast zombies, I'm literally walking outside and just going, let's get it over. I'm not even going to bother with the running.
Yeah. Although, but you could pull it off. Like, you're a good runner. Like me, I am definitely dead. It's be quiet or I don't know. So that's just the way it is.
To be quiet one I would suck at. I couldn't be quiet. If it was a world where you had to be quiet, I would be the worst. I would immediately die. There's no lasting there. Oh, hey guys, did you see that?
Oh, the zombie got you.
Yeah,
we're going to talk about it all. We're going to mostly talk about slashers, but yeah, don't worry. It's going to be in there. And we're going to find out what everybody thinks. But then we're going to talk about our favorite Psycho Santas. Yes, and there's a lot of them. I mean, a lot of people I don't think realize how many Psycho Santa movies there are. And I'm counting Christmas specials and TV shows too. Mm-hmm. Trust me, it's coming. It's going to be fun. So we'll do that on December 16th on the BTB podcast, which is Wednesday nights at 7:30. But tomorrow's episode is going to be a lot of fun. We're throwing the link out to whoever wants to join in. That's what this show is now. Lenny and I are hosting, but whoever wants to join in and join the conversation, please feel free. We are doing Freaky. That is our main movie. So we decided to talk about body switch movies.
Dude, I just watched Freaky literally an hour and a half ago before I jumped on the show.
Yep.
Awesome.
We all watched it. We're gonna
good.
It is so good, and we're gonna talk about not just horror body switch movies.
I love it.
We're gonna talk about body switch movies in general. Oh yeah, trust me, we're getting there. And we're gonna go over the philosophy of each. Oh man. Facebook user is in. I'm doing this now. Yeah, you're doing it tomorrow too, buddy. So keep track. I got a good story for Santa horror movie. All right. Well, you write it out if you want to write it out, or just tell me later, whichever one you want. But if you want to write it out, I'll put it up as we're closing out. But hurry up. So I want to thank everybody for joining us. I want to thank anybody who's listening down the line. Of course, you can check out any of our videos over on after they premiere. You can check them out over on our YouTube page, which is the Scene Snobs YouTube channel. You can, of course, find any links to our podcast. We are on every platform. We're even on Ghana, which is a platform just basically in India. And I hope we take off because I love it. Yeah. So we're doing that. We are going to be so we're on every podcast. So go to thescenesnobs.com. All links are on there. Please check out all our shows. Our shows are really fun. We're having a good time with it. The Guapo show was a good time. That premiered last week. Tomorrow night is BTB at 7:30 live. And then at 9:30 p.m. is episode number 2 of Crossing the Streams. That is hosted by Jeff Dwelskin. He's a comedian out of Detroit. Super funny. I keep telling him to put his comedy shorts up on his social media, and we'll see if he does it.
Yeah, he's great. I really enjoy him, man. His show last week was great. It was fun being part of that.
Yeah, and he's bringing up like 4 or 5 comedians every episode, and then they're just going to kind of have a roundtable and talk about television shows, which is a cool kind of breath of fresh air for all the movie talk we do.
Right, that's what we handle on this side. It's just movies, well, obviously.
We talk the geeky stuff like Mandalorian and stuff too. So I mean, it works out for us. It's and so Charmed good. And Supernatural.
Yeah, I mean, obviously things that are relevant.
Yeah. Well, but I do love what they're doing with Crossing the Streams. So make sure you watch that. It's very funny. It's just a really cool vibe all around. That's 9:30 p.m. Eastern. All our times are Eastern. Go over to thescenesnobs.com. We have all our times in the schedule there. You can find it with links to everything. Check it out. So we have 2 live shows tomorrow. We have Pulling Focus Podcast, which is my filmmaking podcast with Brian from Skyline Indie Film Fest. Just came out today. Head over to thescenesnobs.com, and there's, again, links for Pulling Focus on there. You can go check it out. Until next time, I mean, Casey, you got anything going on there?
No, nothing else on this end, man. Just had a fantastic evening as well. Hopefully, you guys caught us on the Indie Pods United Summit.
Pods United.
If you did not, check it out. Check out their channel as well. It's pretty fascinating. Watch some of their stuff. Good stuff over there. A lot of good eggs. So
yeah, they did a really great job putting that together, and we had a lot of fun. So next year, hopefully, we'll be asked to be back. We got along pretty well, and
if we didn't screw up too bad.
We got some compliments, so I'm thinking like they like this. They like this.
They really liked us.
So Brian says he's saving it for next show, so that's good. Good for BTD.
We'll have that. We're gonna have another meeting, I guess, on this whole married couples. We'll push it to next week.
That's the nice part about our show. We can talk about whatever the hell we want.
It's true.
But we should. We did do our research, so
yeah, right. Kind of bummed, man. I was all excited because I had this whole lead-in about War of the Roses, but you'll have to wait till next time.
Oh, now I want to know. All right, fine. Now you can. All right, cliffhanger. Leave it for next time. But thanks for joining in tonight. Thanks for listening, and just support the show. If you like us, talk about us, tell all your friends, and subscribe, and
spread it around. Share the love. Thank you, everybody. Be good to each other.
Rate us on Apple Podcasts. Rate and review. Thanks.